Next up, we're going to have Geri Henchy, who's the Director of Nutrition Policy at the Food Research and Action Center, and her work focuses on nutrition and program policies necessary to improve the nutrition and health of low-income individuals and families, including strengthening and improving access to child nutrition and WIC programs. Geri's going to talk to us today about the CACFP program, and I'll turn it over.
Well, I'm very pleased to be here today at the Healthy Kids, Healthy Futures Summit. It's a great opportunity for me to be with a lot of people whose work I admire and respect. And now that I'm used to these lights, I can actually see your faces. So this is a good experience for me. So my hot topic is the Child Adult Care Food Program, Making Change Happen. And what I'm going to focus on right now is figuring out how this works. Okay. So what I'm going to be focused on now is opportunities to maximize the impact of the new healthier CACFP meal pattern to address obesity in early care and education settings, what you need to know, and what you can do. So, what you need to know. CACFP, as you probably do already know, but I'm just going to remind you, is a key resource in terms of addressing obesity in early care and education settings. It's a key resource because it reaches a lot of children. It's a key resource because it has nutrition standards which govern 1.9 billion snacks. And it's a key resource because it has money, right? It brings money for reimbursements, which last year totaled $2.6 billion for CACFP. Now that also makes it a tool for addressing equity in early care and education because it's bringing those resources and those standards. And the program serves the majority of the children who are on the program are low income, right? So this is a key program. It makes a big difference for addressing obesity. It makes a big difference for addressing equity. And so for that reason, we want this program to be as strong as it can be. And that is the reason we are going to have a new healthier meal pattern, which we heard yesterday from USDA that they're expecting to be relatively soon, which is great. So we can all get ready. We can work together. We can make sure this program is improved. We can make sure the new meal patterns work. And we can make sure it reaches as many children as possible. So what can you do? What do you want to put on your the pink form about actions that you might take? What are the things that you can talk about at the tables? Let's talk about those. There are opportunities for actions which focus on supporting the success of the new meal pattern and focus on expanding the reach of CACFP so that we can make sure that all the children benefit from this new meal pattern. So I'm going to focus on state and local action. I know many people here are state leaders and other people are representatives of organizations which have state and local members and networks. And really, when the new meal pattern is implemented, it will be implemented on the state and local level. And that is why I think opportunities for action are absolutely key there. I think there are two categories in terms of opportunities for action. One is partners for success, and the other is policy for CACFP action. So in terms of partners for success, there are opportunities to build local and state connections between CACFP and the obesity and health communities, CACFP and the early care and education communities. So what kind of opportunities do we have there? What are the two communities? Well, I think a lot of people here are members of those communities. So one, of course, would be the obesity community. And there, I mean, on the state and local level, initiatives, projects, and coalitions. Those are key partners. The other key partners are the early care and education partners. Those are the state advisory councils, the coalitions, the initiatives, the interagency committees or commissions. So how many people belong to those early care and education? Well, a lot of people. So this is great. So what is the first step? What's the first step in terms of partners to success in supporting CACFP in the new meal pattern? It's, of course, to make sure that CACFP is a member of those coalitions and initiatives. And I think in many cases now, CACFP is actually a member. So I'd like you to raise your hand if CACFP is a member of your initiative or coalition. So excellent. So for those of you who don't have CACFP yet, invite them in. So what are some important things, best practices, things that we've seen people do to prepare and to make sure the new meal pattern is a success and to maximize CACFP participation? Well, let's look at a few of those things. The opportunities for action here on the local and state level in terms of partnership for success are to promote best practices for cross-sector collaboration, to share or create nutrition materials and training to connect CACFP program operators and administrators with nutrition experts on the state and local level, to address gaps that are created by state agency capacity issues, and this is important. We have surveyed the state agencies and our results are up on the Dropbox, and you can look at them, but some of the state agencies are really quite small in CACFP. This is going to be a heavy lift for them. So in terms of Partners for Success, if you have these kinds of coalitions and initiatives, and you have experts, and you have expertise, and you have an ability to partner together, this would be a key time. Because that's definitely something that is going to be helpful. And then finally, I think as an action, as kind of a process way, we've had great luck with state summits and meetings and convenings. And these often, in fact, are led by the CACFP state agency and bring together all of the obesity community folks and the early care and education folks. And these are great, and I'm going to talk about one in a minute. But these are the broad brush of the opportunities for the Partnerships for Success. We do have them up on our website. We have a lot of best practice case studies. I put one in the Dropbox, which is Wisconsin, where they all work together to develop nutrition training and materials that cover both nutrition and physical activity, and they're all using them. Thank you. So you can look there. The other are these summits, which I talked about. And let me wrap up by talking about the second category for state and local action, opportunities for action, and that's policies for CACFP Access. So when we think about states and state agencies and regulatory authority, you've got CACFP, child care subsidy, and child care licensing, right? So what are the policies in terms of opportunities for action to make the most of the new healthier meal pattern? We want to get more kids in particular, we want more low-income kids. And to do that from a policy point of view, you can have the child care subsidy and the child care licensing agencies both doing referrals to CACFP for all the children and all the families that are in care. The second part of that is that they can share, the child care subsidy and the child care licensing agency can share their information with the state agency and the local nonprofit organizations who sponsor these programs, the information for those who are newly certified through child care subsidy and those who are newly licensed. So that is, in conclusion, what I think are the opportunities for action here. I just want to summarize. We have Partners for CACFP Success. We have policy for CACFP Access. And I know that working together, we can make this happen. And I'm really looking forward to working with all of you. Thank you.